January 1st, the Cheez-It Bowl, the Citrus Bowl in Orlando, Iowa versus Tennessee. Talk about contrasting styles. An offense that wants to go as fast as humanly possible versus an offense that cannot accomplish anything. But, man, Iowa's defense, absolutely spectacular. Phil Parker, the defensive coordinator, is your Broyles Assistant Coach of the Year award winner. I don't know, if I'm Tennessee, Joe Milton is one of those guys that doesn't sit out, because it's like, I know he's going to be in the Senior Bowl and he's going to have a chance to prove all that skill to the NFL scouts, but like nothing on his tape says that he's an NFL quarterback from like a processing and accuracy standpoint. But he doesn't strike me as a guy that sits out a game like this. But at the same time, if I'm a Tennessee fan, I desperately want the next guy, a la Garrett Nussmeier at LSU, and a few others around the SEC, like Jackson Arnold at Oklahoma, for example. I want the next guy to get as many reps as possible. The new redshirt rule helps Tennessee because Nico Iamaleava can play as much as he wants in this game, and he's still a redshirt freshman next year. I want him taking as many reps as possible. So you got to balance sending your veteran out as a senior who's been around a long time versus what's best for the program next year. And what's best for the program next year is a very good test against a very good Iowa defense for a young player like Nico. It's a really good opportunity for Josh Heupel to get him some good reps. I don't know what he's going to do, though. I don't know what the balance is going to be.
It's an interesting question, because if you're Tennessee, do you put Nico out there against Iowa, which is a very, very good defense, and you sort of hurt his confidence if he struggles? I think that the flip side of that is you got a month to get ready for this game. So I know Iowa's still a tough defense no matter how much time you have to prepare, but maybe there's an extended look that you could get for him in this game, and you sort of either build confidence for next season, or you see maybe some things that he needs to work on going into spring practice. But there is no doubt that he is the future for Tennessee. But I think the thing that you keep getting out of Tennessee this year is how much of a team leader, how much confidence they have in Joe Milton to finish. The staff has invested a lot of time in his development. So he will, I would imagine, start and try to finish this game. But I would personally like to see Nico. But I think, to your point, on this matchup, I think it is the biggest contrast in styles. Iowa will play a very slow, deliberate, defensive punting game, and they'll try to play field position. Torrey Taylor from Iowa is an awesome punter. This is the game they will try to play. And because they've had a ton of injuries on offense, and we know their offensive issues, and Tennessee should just simply try to put as many points on the board early and get Iowa behind and force them out of it.
And they're screwed.
Yeah, because I don't, if Iowa goes behind by 14, 13 points, I think it's going to be really hard for them to catch up. If Iowa drags Tennessee into a lower scoring game, we got a game for 4 quarters then.
Well, Tennessee's 8.5-point favorite. I will say this about the confidence of a young player. If your confidence as a young player is broken by a second-tier bowl performance against Iowa in an exhibition game, then you are not quarterback one in the SEC. So if I'm Josh Heupel and I'm that coaching staff, I am not concerned about where Nico Iamaleava is mentally. Because if you throw him out there and Iowa's really great and he has a poor performance, I don't care what the message boards say. I don't care what Twitter says. None of that matters. If you are truly QB1 in the SEC, all that does is motivate you. All that does is make you better. All that does is give you the learning experience to get better next season. If a second-tier bowl performance against Iowa breaks your confidence permanently, then you ain't the guy. So I want to see him as much as possible if I'm a Tennessee fan. But I get it. They're loyal to their guy, and maybe it wasn't a great investment to invest that much in Joe Milton. But
hey, there's no better test than Iowa's defense.
I agree. That's why it's so perfect. It's so perfect for Josh Heupel. How many defenses in the SEC are truly better from a fundamental standpoint that are going to teach you how to play the game at the highest possible level better than Iowa? I mean, certainly there's a couple, Georgia, Alabama, maybe, but by and large, the way Iowa plays the game, so fundamentally sound, gap sound, they're going to be good against the run game, against Tennessee's very good run game. I don't know. I think it's a perfect opportunity. Every third series, every fourth series, I would want Nico. Or maybe, first quarter's Joe, second quarter's Nico, third and fourth quarter's Joe. But just give the young kids some reps. It's super, super important for the development over the long term. So you're taking the Vols. I take it.
I am taking Tennessee. I think just simply the offensive firepower of Tennessee. I think Iowa's defense will play well, but give me Tennessee. They are 4-1, by the way, in previous Citrus Bowl appearances. So
good stat there to end the conversation. Good job.